so it's 205 East 7th Street at the Hadley Building. They have a main entrance with their big sign with all the businesses listed out front, and it's an awning. You go straight through that front door on that one way of 7th, and you go straight back. We are literally we're a glass wall storefront right when you walk in those front doors, right at the straight back. It'll be right in your eye line when you walk in.
I'm Cristina Janney with the Hayes Post and Eagle Radio, and I'm speaking with Brittney Squire and Chandler Reich of the Hayes Arts Council about their facility renovations and upcoming events on this episode of the Hayes Post podcast.
Since we're not building new, it wasn't exactly a groundbreaking, so we were calling it a construction kickoff. And we appreciate everyone who came out and attended that and celebrated with us and participated in the last brushstrokes of the building event that we had. That was the final event in the Hayes Arts Council facilities as many of us know it. That construction kickoff is immediately following that event. Our last exhibit, the 5-state photography exhibition, came down and we vacated the space. So in February, construction has officially started. We've got a demolition crew out there right now. They'll be there for a couple of weeks getting things ready for the general contractor to do their work. So it is underway. We're in the middle of construction as we speak. We do appreciate everyone's patience because there is a large roll-off dumpster and a trailer and some other things out on 11th Street right in front of our building. And so we just hope that people will be mindful of that and know that it's temporary while we're building for the future.
Brittney, I know we've had some stories on the Hayes Post, but can you run our listeners through a little bit of what the facility will look like when it's all renovated? And it's not just the Hayes Arts Council building that we know, but it was what used to be the Mad Matter and the Annex all being connected together.
Yeah, absolutely. So technically it's two different buildings. The Annex is one building, and then the former Mad Matter and the Hayes Arts Council main gallery is the second building. This project is focused on connecting all three of those disjointed spaces so that you'll be able to explore, enjoy, walk through them seamlessly under one roof. It will allow us to do different exhibits, larger exhibits. It'll create a more open space. And it gives us the opportunity to have our annex space, which will become our education wing, open on a more regular basis because we'll be able to access the facility better. Some of the updates that are being made include things like accessibility, access in and out of the buildings easily, in and out of restrooms. People who've been in our facilities know that our restrooms aren't very easy to get to and certainly not accessible for some. We're also adding a meeting room that'll be available for the community to use, as well as used quite a bit by our team. So it's kind of a lot of modernization and opening the space, but it's also tackling some of those issues that have just been long neglected and need some attention. Things like HVAC and plumbing and all of those things that are problematic over the span of several decades that you're in a space and just need some love and attention.
Okay. So you're not totally closing down through this whole process. You're still going to be in operation and where are you going to be? Chandler, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So during the month of February, we closed the Arts Council and we moved over to what we call the annex space that Brittney was speaking about before. And so we have, at the end of this month, on March, at the beginning of the March, we will open in two separate locations. Now, depending on what people are looking for, you'll go to a different location. So our exhibits, like, for example, 5-state that just came down and our upcoming spring exhibition, that will be in the annex space at 1010 Main. That will only be open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then Saturdays will be 1 to 4 p.m. And then the second space that I mentioned before is going to be our office and gift gallery. So a lot of people remember when they would come in, they could buy ceramics and artwork and original pieces, but they'd also be able to come in, buy their membership payments, to chat with staff, ask questions, call, email, that kind of stuff. So our main office is actually going to be at the Hadley Center, in addition to that gift gallery space. And we are right when you walk in. So it's 205 East 7th Street at the Hadley Building. They have a main entrance with their big sign with all the businesses listed out front, and it's an awning. You go straight through that front door on that one way of 7th, and you go straight back. We are literally we're a glass wall storefront right when you walk in those front doors, right at the straight back. It'll be right in your eye line when you walk in. And so we're excited to have people over there. And those hours are going to be very similar to our previous hours, with the exception of being closed on Mondays. So to account for our staff being spread across 2 locations, we needed to cut down on hours just a little bit. So we'll be closed on Mondays, but we'll be open there Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4. And then Saturdays, we'll have some morning hours from 10 to 1 if anyone wants to come by gifts and things like that Saturday morning.
Okay. What do you have going on in March and April once you get back going again?
Yes. So beginning March 3rd, we will open at the first location at the Hadley Center. So our gift gallery and office will be available beginning Tuesday, March 3rd. So that will then go on for as long as we need it to be. And so that'll be available. The next event will be the opening of our spring exhibition. So that'll happen on March 5th, Thursday, March 5th at the 1010 space. That'll be normal hours, 10 to 4. And then we'll have the opening reception for that spring exhibit on Friday, March 6th. And that exhibit is going to have 2 artists, Amy Warfield. She's a watercolor landscape painter. She has beautiful pastel watercolors. She's been working in that space for the last few years. Some might remember going through the annex space. And she has a collection of 20 watercolor pieces that we're going to have on display. In addition to Amy Warfield, we'll have Brittney Gorelick. She's the printmaking professor at Fort Hays State University. And her work is printmaking, layered, collaging, some installation work, a little bit more abstracted in bright colors. And so we'll have a very nice, bright space for that. We're repainting the gallery for this exhibit, so it'll look great when we get all the art hung up and open on March 5th. And then just following this closing of this exhibition on March 11th, we will then put up Smokey. In April 11th, we will switch to Smokey. And so for artists that are interested in participating in the Smokey exhibition, that deadline will be coming up on March 19th. So people can get their submissions in now. It's live on our website, on our Facebook page. They can go submit their artwork photos, up to 4 pieces. And all the information is on our website.
And the Smoky Hill art exhibit will anchor the spring art walk in April.
Yes. So that'll open on April 25th for our spring art walk, 10 to 4. That'll be a Saturday. That'll be a big, long Saturday. It'll be a great exhibit. We have the entire annex space cleared, so we'll have all the walls and all the space to have Smokey. It'll be a really cool exhibit. And the juror this year is actually Hillary Cole from the Leopold Gallery in Kansas City. So she'll be doing the juring, and it's going to be a good show. I'm really excited to have a nice space too. So
Chandler, did you want to add anything about the Smokey, about what do you accept? What are some of the rules for that exhibit?
Oh, yeah. Smokey is awesome. So it's open to all Kansas artists. So if you live in Kansas, you can submit to this. And we accept all 2D and 3D works. So everything will have to be completed and finished by the submission deadline on March 19th. And then you just have to be an artist working in Kansas, and you'll be able to submit.
That is, do you know how many years that has been going on now? It's
I believe this is the 57th Smoky Hill competition. So we're approaching 60 years with this event. Yeah.
It's very prestigious. I always enjoy seeing it. There's always a really great diversity of work. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see the March exhibit too. Yeah. I have a piece by Amy Warfield. I think she does great work. So.
She does. Amazing.
So I'm excited about all of that. So we're excited to see the progress on the renovations, and we've got art coming up. And I understand from that construction kickoff that you're still going to be doing some stuff over the summer, that there's going to be some classes for kids as well, just as you have always had them. So the Arts Council is still going to be thriving, even though that you're going through this transition.
Yes, we're trying to be as open and accessible as we were before. So anyone can come, ask questions, see events, and we still want to host as much as possible during this time, even though we're down a little bit of our space.
Okay. Brittney or Chandler, is there anything else you want to add?
Just that we really appreciate all the community support during this transition, both with our staffing transition, our building transition, really getting ready for the future. And we're just glad that everyone's on board and following us through this phase of new and exciting and building the arts in Hayes for the community.